unsolved murder of Bob Lee, the shocking and unsolved murder of Bob Lee, the tech titan who was stabbed to death Tuesday in San Francisco, has rattled the city and those who loved him.
Absolute shock and devastation.
We're aiming to lift the entire world into a new era of financial freedom.
Best known for creating Cash App, a mobile payment service, police say Lee was attacked not far from the Bay Bridge at 2:35 a.m. Tuesday. The area, thought to be a safe part of the city, is dotted with surveillance cameras.
These people are cold-blooded. Right around the Bay Bridge, surrounded by surveillance cameras. Yo, Bob Lee, founder of Cash App, got butchered, ladies and gentlemen. And we're talking about right before the Fed app, or the Fed Now app, which is a version of Cash App, but it has a little twist on it. The feds is watching. The feds is involved. And what it's really about, the Fed app that's coming up, the Fed Now app, is really about digital dollars being brought to the forefront. It's really about the banks crashing. It's a lot going on with it. And the feds, they're basically just trying to crash the market, trace all the money. It's also a way of surveilling the actual money. Oh man, this is I'm not gonna jump to conclusions, but this is real fishy stuff right here. Let us continue.
PD's around.
Before collapsing on a sidewalk, Lee screamed for help on his phone, saying someone stabbed me, according to surveillance footage and records reviewed by the San Francisco Standard. NBC News has not been able to review the recording. After police arrived at the crime scene, the 43-year-old was rushed to a hospital where he died. It comes as San Francisco's homicide rate has climbed in recent years.
Yo, listen, they're going to call us conspiracy theorists, but we are allowed to have our ideas of what have taken place, y'all. It seems like they don't want money to be able to travel freely among people unless the feds are involved, unless someone on the outside is involved. And we're going to talk about that Fed Now app in this stream as well, so we can get a greater understanding of what they're trying to roll out and how that particular service will work. Could it be that Cash App founder wasn't willing to give up his platform or give up what he's built? Could it have been lawsuits in place? Could it have been, we just never know what happened. But we do know that this all goes into the Great Reset. A new financial structure as we know it is being created. And it seems like this so-called New World Order, and this is just what it seems like from my astute observation, they finna take out anybody who's standing in the way. And this is crazy right here, because they stabbed this man around surveillance cameras. Why was a multi-billionaire, the founder of Cash App, why was he just walking around, no security? Like, what's going on here? Do they have anyone who's in question for this murder? Are they pointing the finger at are there any suspects? Like, literally, what's going on here? And the interesting part, months ago, I personally stopped sharing my Cash App on YouTube, and I started utilizing the Love Note system, using a website instead. And could there have been some foreshadowing going there? I don't know, but it's gonna have to come a time where a lot of y'all gonna have to stop using Cash App, because it won't be no longer controlled by the ones who set it in stone. But this is crazy. Somebody said Jake Dorsey is the creator of Cash App. Bob Lee was the data guy. Something extra fishy as to why he became the fall guy, though. See, I don't know the semantics on it. This is new news. Everywhere I see it air, it says Bob Lee is the founder. So If you got more information, feel free to send it. But I'm just covering the news as it's presented to me, right? This is definitely something going on here.
As have robberies, thefts, and assaults. Amid the stream of condolences on social media, Elon Musk, a critic of the city's safety, wrote, "Violent crime in SF is horrific, and even if attackers are caught, they are often released immediately." Supervisor Matt Dorsey pushing back.
Some of the public safety
So no, Matt Dorsey, according to the news, is the supervisor. That's the difference. They call him Bob Lee, the actual owner or founder, rather. In these type of situations where there's a lot of treachery that goes on, when there's a lot of money involved, and especially when we talk about the transition of money, who can you trust? I mean, seriously, who can you trust? You don't know who had this man lined up. It could have been anybody. But at the same time, I find it mighty, mighty strange that now there's a FedNow app going on. And a lot of you people are going to think it's just normal to be used as something that's called FedNow. Meaning federal agents more than likely is watching every transaction you may make, because that's what the nature of the beast is. That's what the devil wants to do. He's a control freak. He wants to know how you spending your money, how you moving around, where you're going, all of that. Revelations 13:16 says, and he calls it all, both small and great, free and bond, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. So he's going to get more intrusive than this, than just feds watching. And it goes on to say that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So what you see is right now, all of these things are coming to pass, but they're closing the walls in of freedom. And pretty soon you're going to see money outlawed. I'm talking about physical money, cash. Matter of fact, and I believe it's Australia, they're starting to criminalize the use of cash. So they want it in one central hub. They really want it in your right hand or your forehead. It's the mark of the beast coming. And anybody who has taken the oath, such as your Bob Lee, because in order to make billions of dollars, he had to take the oath. He had to get with the program. Maybe something pressed on his conscience, and he was like, yo, I'm not going to follow in line, or I'm not going to follow through with y'all attempting to do with the company that I founded. And maybe they just took the man out. But that's crazy. Whoever did it, it was personal. People just don't stab people, bro, unless it's personal. To get up close to him, they wanted to make that man feel the pain, bro. You don't slice and dice someone unless you're trying to do two things: set a message, or it's really, really cruel and ill intentions behind it.
Challenges San Francisco is struggling with aren't different from public safety challenges facing other cities.
The 43-year-old father of two who had recently moved to Miami was more than a tech icon. His wife saying Bob Lee was the most incredible and beautiful human being. He was everyone's best friend. Police still have no suspects or motive for the murder.
It's going to be hard to imagine a world where you can't.
No suspects, no evidence, no nothing. I think they're trying to show people if they want to get to you, they're going to get to you. They're calling this a murder mystery, ladies and gentlemen.
Call Bob and say, hey, I have this problem I'm thinking through. Can you help me through it? He was an absolutely instrumental person in the tech industry.
This morning, the high-profile murder of a tech pioneer killed while walking the streets in a city under increased scrutiny for its safety.
I mean, I'm finding it difficult to believe that San Francisco is that violent. I really am. And especially in a place like, near the Bay Bridge area where it's all these cameras. It could have been anybody, a paid hitman, government agents. It could have been an agency that put the hit out there on that man. But that, ladies and gentlemen, this don't sit right. I just cannot, it's something in me where I cannot believe it was just a random act of violence. There's definitely a plot to all of this, man. we talking about there's a lot of millionaires mysteriously dying. It's not just him. There's a lot of people who are in certain investments and certain people who are dealing with digital assets who are ending up getting lined up too. It ain't, this is no such thing as coincidence.
Miguel, you just mentioned there that police have been tight-lipped so far. Do we know at this point what else they're going to look into as they try to find some answers?
Well, Craig, police have been spotted searching dumpsters and questioning potential witnesses near the crime scene, but still no major details on the attack, including whether Lee was targeted or if his murder was random. Friends say he visited San Francisco often. Craig.
All right. Our national correspondent, Miguel Almaguer.
So this is how it go, man. He said he visited San Francisco often, y'all. Now, this is how them perps be working. When you frequent the same environment, they had to know his whereabouts, his in and outs, the way the man moved. Almost like he was stalked, tracked down. They knew he would frequent that area, and they lined the man up. They telling you. Somebody said everything is connected. That's a fact. Somebody said the digital central bank currency has everything to do with it. I would not doubt that. That's crazy that there's no evidence, there's no suspects, there's no nothing. There's no suspects, there's no nothing. Yo, we don't know the logistics of the business that he had with other conglomerates and other businesses, particularly those dealing with banking or money or digital currency. We don't know. We don't know what type of politics going behind the scenes. Only thing we know is people that this is weird, that FedNow drops right around this time. And I want to talk a little bit about what FedNow is. I'm going to share another video with you all so you can get a greater understanding on how this thing is going to work. And, we can move from there, right? How will FedNow work? Let's just go to that just to see what this thing is about so we don't go into any speculation, right?
I tried 3 different e-commerce platforms and none of them were working for me.
In today's fast-paced world, time is money. More people, businesses, and organizations are demanding instant payments. That's why the Federal Reserve is developing the FedNow service, a safe and efficient instant payments infrastructure.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this is being developed by the Federal Reserve. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting. So the Federal Reserve, we're talking about individuals who print the money out like Monopoly paper. We're talking about the individuals who, distribute loans and distribute everything. So oh man, this is really catching on right here. We're looking at the end of the free market, because when you talk about Cash App and instant transfers, you're talking about our money that we have, that the money that we actually have. But what if FedNow is getting into the money just to create a bigger deficit of debt? What if this is literally coming from debt notes and they're transferring this money around, and every time we make a transaction using FedNow, the country gets further in debt, but it'll help to implode this nation even quicker. And that's a thought, because the Federal Reserve is in control of this. What if Cash App was actually keeping an economy existing? Of course, we got our own economy with the Love Note system. But what if Cash App became an economy within an economy? Booyah. That's exactly what it is, y'all. The feds want control over all economy, bro. And the founder of Cash App, he was actually the pioneer of all this. He started a free trade market of cash, which created an economy within itself. Oh man, the light bulb just went off, yo. So this is about the feds taking over all our transfers and money, bro. Anybody who's standing in the way, man, I guess they trying to remove them. This was to be made as an example. The Most High Glorious Father is with us, though.
Structure that will modernize the U.S. payment system. The FedNow service will give financial institutions the opportunity to innovate.
Meaning, let me break that down. they'll be able to loan financial institutions, not give, loan financial institutions whatever needed, and put them further in debt, and pretty much basically transfer money, loan money at a drop of a dime. Just keep on increasing the deficit. Just keep on. If the Federal Reserve can make an app where they could just distribute money to schools and colleges and this, that, and the third, they don't care about the debt. They already know this thing is falling. They already know this country is going off the rails, bro. So they don't even care at this point. They don't want people to have a free market of economy among each other.
Enabling their customers to send and receive money in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Funds will settle between financial institutions in real time, which means there's no buildup of interbank obligations, and end users will have access to the funds in seconds.
Wow, yo, this is just, let's replay that, y'all. Y'all gotta hear what is going on here.
Have access to the funds in seconds. How will the FedNow service work? Imagine the owner of a coffee shop is running low on coffee beans.
Hold on. Peep this. Hold up.
Users will have access to the funds in seconds. How will the FedNow service work? Imagine the owner of a coffee shop is running low on coffee beans and needs to schedule a quick delivery. She places an order and the coffee bean company sends her a request for payment.
So the business owners can get a loan pretty much, because let's call it for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's a freaking loan. So if a coffee bean company, they're out of coffee beans, they can get an instant transaction through FedNow. So what they're doing is they're taking the free trade market out of there. So you can solely, if you want something, you're gonna have to rely on FedNow. You're gonna have to rely on the government. We're gonna give you everything. Forget calling your uncle down the street if you want a loan. No. Everything gotta go through us. They trying to get rid of Cash App altogether because they don't want you trading currency among the world, helping your peoples or whatever the case may be. They're trying to make it so if you want to rely on somebody for help, you better petition for FedNow. Wow. Yo, thanks for the 20. I appreciate it. Malek says, peace and love breed. U.S. government, one of the biggest mobs on the planet. One big oxymoron. What? I tell you.
She responds to the request for payment and pays for the coffee beans right then and there through an app from her credit union, which uses the FedNow service. Once she initiates the payment.
So they're using credit. They're using credit to do this. So, that social credit, your social credit system going to come into play. So there's going to be favoritism going on with certain individuals. They'll have access to the, I'm using the word loan because that's what it is. Nothing comes for free, especially coming from the feds. You got to be crazy to use this app. Ain't no way. I won't even have this app downloaded on no device of mine. Won't happen.
Her credit union screens the payment and sends an ISO 20022 compliant payment message, either directly or through a service provider to the FedNow service over the Federal Reserve's FedLine network. The FedNow service instantly validates the payment message and passes it along to the coffee bean supplier's bank. In real time, the supplier's bank confirms.
This is how they keeping the banks alive. The banks and the credit unions are just trading among each other. They're literally keeping them alive. They're trying to defibrillate them by just keep on trading and exchanging. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. These people watch the idea that Bob Lee had, and they're just revamping it to fit a governmental structure, right? Wow. Hey, as knowledge increases in the world, the wicked, they're getting more knowledge too. But we going against the grain. We on to their games.
Confirms to the FedNow service that it intends to accept the payment. And the FedNow service debits and credits the master accounts of both the shop owners and the coffee bean suppliers' financial institutions or the master accounts of their correspondents. The FedNow service also immediately sends a payment message with an advice of credit to the supplier's bank and notifies the shop owner's credit union that settlement is complete. Finally, the supplier's bank credits the supplier's account in near real time, making the funds available.
Wow, they're going to just loan you everything. Y'all got to be crazy. Don't use this thing. Some of y'all gonna be in internment camps trying to work off that debt. Trust me, it's gonna go down. Because with Cash App, you getting direct money transferred to you that's yours, 100%. If Uncle Sam can't tax it or make you owe something, or use a social credit, use some type of credit system, they don't want you to have it. See, within the states, you're not meant to be successful. You're not meant to be able to just stack money up. You're not meant to get cash. Or say you're running a business and you're using Cash App to facilitate your funds. You're not meant to be able to just stack money up. Say you use mainly it's a controlled money system. Imagine you have a business you running, and all your transactions coming directly from the people, and whatever you're doing, they don't want that. No, you need to be borrowing from us. You need to go through some type of credit system. Goodness, crazy. Let's go.
The supplier's bank will have the option of sending a confirmation to the shop owner's credit union that the payment has been posted to the supplier's account, providing the coffee shop owner with certainty that the payment was received. The FedNow service will be designed to be flexible and support a broad range of potential use cases. Banks, credit unions, and other industry providers can use it as a springboard for innovation to support a range of applications such as account-to-account transfers and bill pay. For example, now imagine it's after hours and the shop owner gets a reminder that her car insurance bill is due today. She may be able to avoid a late fee by initiating a bill payment in her credit union app and selecting to pay it now. Later, she repays a friend for a pizza they shared using an app provided by her credit union that clears and settles through the FedNow service.
Wow, bro. So you know how many people gonna want to use that just for the simple fact they may not have the funds available, but they're gonna use credit. And a lot of people whose credit was good and great, their credit is gonna decline. A lot of people who just, have bills or any type of debt, man, you know how many people gonna be using this thing, bro? There's gonna be so many people using this. Wow. Yeah, they're gonna be messing people credit up. This is gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, man. Yo, Bob Lee was like the dude off Minority Report. That's who he was. He was like, that's the position he had in all this. He was like the dude in Minority Report. He had all the data. He had all of the semantics. He knew exactly how a free-flowing transaction economy goes, right? But all of a sudden, the feds had to see otherwise. Man, I tell you.
With this service, banks and credit unions can remain competitive by offering the type of payment options customers increasingly expect in today's fast-paced world. The FedNow service will support flexible adoption, allowing financial institutions the option to work with aggregators, processors, and correspondents to adopt the service. Banks and credit unions will also have the option to adopt the full set of FedNow capabilities or sign on as a receive-only participant. The initial launch of the FedNow service will focus on core clearing and settlement capabilities. Additional features will be released in phases to meet evolving industry demands and changes in technology. Get ready for the FedNow service. Learn more at fednow.org.
Oh, wow. Hey, it is nothing coincidental that the founder of Cash App just passed away right before this. Yo, hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, y'all got to look out for what's going on in this world. This is not a game. The time is now that you start to support your people, yo. Y'all need to go to newbreed.love. Get yourself a love note, because you got a lot of people who are setting up digital assets, and you got a lot of people who are setting up these marketplaces and exchange hubs, but they're not building it on love of the Almighty. They're not building it out of the fear of the Almighty. And though it's unfortunate that Bob Lee was taken out the way he was, what did Bob Lee do for the children of Israel? What did Bob Lee do for the starving? What did Bob Lee do for the marginalized and the hungry? What did he do for the people? I believe he took the oath just like them. Maybe it was greed that got the better of him. Maybe it was some, blood money that was required. one thing is for sure and two things is for certain. We got to start to move different. You know what I'm saying? Liquidate your assets, understand what's important in life. You know what I'm saying? Put your money to the side and put it towards something that's tangible. You know, it's time to prepare for what's coming. There's an economic decrease, a decline. This is our fourth economic revolution. And it's time that you gird up your loins. It's time that you pay attention to the times you living in. It's time that you start to invest in land, property, find freedom, plug in, because it's getting real out here, y'all. May the man, rest in peace and let his family, I know his family is mourning and whatnot. It's an unfortunate situation, but the game is dirty. But listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's the beast system for you. Listen, I love each and every one of y'all. I want y'all to have a beautiful evening. I want everybody to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Turn your post notification bell on so you can get all uploads and all streams as they're being uploaded. Listen, y'all have a blessed evening. Shalom and peace.